Hey, this is Susan Gable, and I am going to give you a down and dirty walkthrough today on how to create a website very quickly using Wix.com. I've been using Wix for several years now, and the beauty of it is it really is just so easy to use. If you are not the strongest technology person, or you really don't want to spend a whole lot of time messing around with a website, then Wix is the platform for you. Now here we are in my main dashboard. You're going to have an account with Wix. They do have a free trial period, so you could sign up and try it out for free. But here you will actually see, excuse me, that I have multiple websites here, and that is because one of the beauty things of Wix is it allows you to assign an editor to your website. And so I actually have editorial permissions for my friend Jennifer August's website, and my friend Lisa Hughes is a massage therapist here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and so I have editorial control on her website as well. It's nice to have somebody who can just help you out. Go and post something. Let's say you get sick and you're in the hospital or whatever, you want your website updated. Yeah, have a backup plan, somebody else who can get in there. But let's just go to create a new site. And you got options here, photography, restaurants and foods, a blog. What are you doing? Well, we're doing other. I have not tried this ADI, and I have no idea, but probably would do a great job. But we're just going to go with choose a template. And they have lots and lots and lots of templates, tons of templates for you to choose from. We're going to go over here to the search bar. We're going to type in author because we're going to build an author page. And again, they even have a lot of different author pages. And we're just going to go ahead and take this first one because today's exercise is simply in trying to show you how to do these things, not to build the most beautiful website. The truth is, though, my author website was built from this template. If you want to just look at the template, you can click on view and it will take you and show you. But remember, a template is just a starting point, and anything and everything can be changed and customized. Now, actually, we do want to do this, so we're going to go ahead with edit. Sorry about that. Here we go. We're waiting for this to come on in. And here we are. We are now on the website and we are in the editing view. And Wix has lots of little helper things to help you out, tips and tidbits and things. Let me show you how simple this is. Okay, first of all, these dotted lines, grid lines, first, you don't want to go outside on the left or the right margins here, okay? Because that's just you're gonna put stuff outside there and it's not gonna show up on tablets and mobile phones and things like that. So I move that because for whatever reason that was off that and it irritates me. Let's go up here and click on this headshot and we're gonna change that out. We're just gonna click change image. And now we're going to have a place where we can upload materials to, right? Now I have already put together a folder with all the stuff that I'm going to need for this. So you will want to gather your materials. I've got my headshot. I've got my book covers. I've got my bio. I've got blurbs for my books. Let's just start by dropping my headshot in here. And while that uploads, I'm going to drop a couple covers in here as well because, why not? I'm here. Let's do it. All right. So now we pick the image that we want. Now remember, we were on the headshot. We clicked change image. And so we're going to do that. We have options. Wix allows us to cut the background out, to crop and edit it, to adjust the picture. Maybe we want to adjust the colors, the shadows, things like that. But you make a vignette, right? Maybe I want to, yeah. See how we can sort of, oh, look, I like that. That makes it a little more dramatic. So let's do that. Save. So again, Wix is very robust. It has lots and lots of things. You can add tags to your picture. Let's just choose it. And presto, all of a sudden, there's my headshot instead of the one from the template. Now we can click into this text box and we can change the text. Now I am not a New York Times bestseller, but I am a USA Today bestseller. I want to do that in all caps. And there we go. And then we'll click in this section and we can change my name just like that. It's that easy, right? And then we can move it. Well, maybe we didn't like the way that was. We also, once we click in here and we're on this text, as you can see over here, we can change the color. We can make it bold, italics. We can underline. We can add links, hyperlinks. We can change the font, right? We can change the font to something else. It's that simple. Click on it. Get your editing tools over here and change things. We can even make a nifty. Let's do like this. So we have a drop shadowy type effect. You can change your buttons. You can change the background. You can change the color. Okay, let's I'm really not a big fan. I'm not a dark, this is where also you kind of have to know a little bit about your brand. And depending on what you write, right? This gives us a very dark feel, sinister, suspensey kind of feel, and that's great if that's what you write. But if not, then we click on change page background and we get a lot of options. We can put a video background, right? Just by clicking on that, and we can apply it to all our pages if we want. Applied to all pages. And generally speaking, you're going to want to carry that through, although every now and again you may want to have a different background. Here are our settings, right? So we can overlay something, we can overlay a color on it, we can have adjust the playback speed of the video in the background, we can play it in a loop, or we can have it play once and then be done. So lots of options there. Now that we've done that, though, this background up top here is not going to cut it with the colors here. So let's again click change design, and you can see here are the themed strips. We could change it to this gray, right? A darker blue, which actually doesn't look too bad with this. But you can also click on customize the design, and then you can change your color. You can change the opacity, right? You can change the shapes of the boxes up at the top. Oh, that's kind of nifty, something different. Let's do that, but then let's go back again. Change design. Come back here, and let's go with that blue. There we go. Okay. It really is this simple. This simple. Click on things, change them quickly, add, change. So let's change out this cover. Again, I have uploaded this. We're just going to grab this, and there it is. Okay. We can make it bigger or smaller. We do have some kind of an issue in the fact that it's not showing my full cover, and I'd have to go in and tweak and mess around and see what's going on with that. You can see we've got a rotate button up here as well. Maybe you want it to be a little bit off center. You can do that. Okay. Now, again, we've got other options here. We've got settings. All right. And what happens? What happens? Do you want to have a link on that image, that if somebody clicks on that image on your website, where does it go? All right. A lot of times you might want to send them to a sales page for that book, to Amazon or wherever. Uh, you can resize it. You can do different things. You can reset the image. You can change it. Now, also, we have a design here. And so if you want to put a frame, you got some just quick, easy frames if you want to add a frame to it, right? And again, like everything else, you can customize the design. And you notice as we just mouse over, it automatically changes it and shows us a preview. Okay. And again, you can customize that design. We're going to go with no frame. Again, we can crop it. We can add filters. We can animate it. All right, how do we want this? Do we want this to show up on our page? Do we want it to just be there, or do we want it to show up dramatically, right? Now, up here in the top right-hand corners, now this is on autosave, and it will be saving our work as we go along. But if we want to look at the website as someone visiting it, we click preview. And so there you can see the animation that we put in there. And again, you can see the video in the background. And we did put it on so that it would, I'm pretty sure I clicked that it would just do it once and then the video would stop playing. Now, one other thing I want to show you up here in the upper left-hand corner, we have the two different editors, desktop and mobile. All right, you definitely want to optimize your website for mobile as well. So let's click on that and have a look and see what this looks like on a mobile phone. Now the videos, last I knew, the videos did not play on mobile. And you can already see that this buy now button is overlapping the cover. So we're going to want to move that, except we're not in the editor. So let's go back to editor and we'll be in the mobile editor. Yeah. Again, see, Wix is very helpful. They will give you advice on how to do things. So I'm just going to real quick tweak this. We're going to move this. We're going to move this down. Not that. This. All right, we got boxes on boxes here. And actually, if you see, that text box was not attached to the button. We're going to work on that. It's a lot easier to work in the desktop editor and get things the way that you want it in the desktop editor, and then go into the mobile and tweak it so that it is how you want it. And again, we can change our text just by clicking into it. Right. And again, what fonts do you like to use? Again, that's about branding. What fonts do you like to use? You want to be consistent. And what I'm going to do here is I have whole blurbs for my books, but on the front page of my website, I'm not going to put all of it. What I'm going to do is I am going to paste the tagline. Obviously, that's way too small. Again, over here, we have all our editing options, and we can, make it bigger, make it smaller. We can play around with the color of our fonts. We can add text. We can align it. Right. And again, we can do different effects. We can change the line spacing. Let's actually take a look at that. All right. That line spacing is a little tiny crowded for me. So I'm going to give it a little bit more spacing, like a 1.1, just a little bit more spacing between the lines. So it's not double space. It's not single space. It's like that. Now, okay. If you're familiar with the headings and different things like in Word, you can do the same thing here on Wix. You can set up how your different headings will look, or different paragraph settings will look, and that way then you can quickly and easily apply those styles to your website. There we go. Now this button, let's let's do this. So I would put a buy button underneath my cover. Now, again, you can change everything. Change the design of the button, right? Customize. How do you want the border to be? How do you want the shadow to be? What other options? You can try different options. See, that one's got a drop border around. This is where your creativity comes into play. How do you want it to look? And again, and now you see this is just text on top of the button, and we can change what it says. Buy it now. Let's add an exclamation point because, hey, why not? There we go. Let's change the design. Let's make that white. There we go. I hope you're getting the sense that this is easy stuff to do. Right, this is easy. Now, here, let's just say we want to just add some other separate text. We can just come over here to the add button, and they give us a ton of options. What do we want to put in here? Let's just add some text. Let's add a paragraph. And basically what we're going to do here, what I want to do is I'm going to show you how to make another separate page, and we'll just say learn more. Okay. And then we're going to link this text. Now, again, like I said, this is not an exercise in building a pretty site, because this is not a pretty site. This is very ugly, but I am trying to show you the techniques and the skills that you're going to need. So we're going to add another page. Add a page, site page. And so we're going to title this new page Hero to Keep, because this is going to be a page. Each of my books is going to have a page. And so we're going to pull this down under books. Now watch this. If we click this little menu button here, you see we can make it a sub page. So we're going to make it a sub page. So books will be a main page, and a Hero to Keep will be a separate sub page. And here we are on this page. And so we're going to have to add some things into it. So let's click on our add button again and see the options. One of the things that I have is I actually have a video for this book, a trailer. So let's click on video, and we're going to add in a YouTube box. And with this, it's the same thing, right? Go in, here's our settings, here's the design. You need some help? Here's that. Do we want to animate this video? Do we want the video to fly in? Let's start with the basics. Let's change the video. So we're going to go to YouTube, and I have a video here. We're going to grab the URL from it eventually. We're going to grab the URL from it. Let's do this. Copy video URL. There we go. And we're just going to click into this. What's the video address? We're going to put in the video. And there we go. And again, we've got playback options. How do we want this to play? Do we want it to autoplay, or do we want them to have to click on it? Right? I prefer to have people click on it. I don't like videos that autoplay personally. Now you can add a description to the video. This is important for people who are visually impaired. You want to have descriptions on all of this. Um, all right. So there I've typed in that. And again, if we want to preview it, let's go to preview. And there we have this. And if we click on it, the video will start to play. All right, let's go back to the editor. Now we're going to add the book cover. So let's add image. And we're going to go to uploads because it's the cover that we uploaded. And here is the cover. Okay. And now we're going to grab the handles on the sides and shrink it down until it's the size that we want it to be. And again, like I showed you earlier, you could put a frame around it, you could do whatever. Now let's add some text again. And here we go. And now we're going to go into the folder that I had. I'm going to open up the blurbs. I'm going to grab the full blurb for this book. I'm going to copy it. We're going to come back to Wix. And we're going to paste it. Now you can see how really hard that is to read. So let's change that to black. There we go. All right, and again, we can change the font to whatever our particular preferred font is. Do you want to make it bold? We can do that. Now, again, you see that this is, we can move it with this, and that opens up space. If you use the drag handle here, it holds it, and what it does is it makes more room on your page. So if you've put some stuff in and you're like, no, I want to put something else in there, you can do that. Now we can change this. We can also expand this text box. You know, we want it to be wider, and we can change the top line, which is supposed to be a tagline, which should be bigger. Maybe not that big, but there we go. Something like that. And then I'm going to want to put some spaces in here. So we're going to go in here. We're going to click there. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Now, again, this is kind of hard to read on this. And that's one of the things you're going to have to be thoughtful about when you're doing a design. Is you want to make sure you have adequate contrast between your backgrounds and your text. So we can do something about this very easily. I'm going to come over to our handy dandy add button, and we're going to grab a box. Oh, no, you know what? Not a box. I want to do a shape. I want to do a basic shape. We're going to just grab this rectangle shape. We're going to make it big enough. And you see very nicely as we try to do this, it handily helps us by making it partially transparent. And that's what we're going to want. So now we can get the size right. There we go. And then we're going to go down like this. Okay. And then we're going to do the design, because I would change this color. I would change it to white. And then I would bring down the opacity. But you could use a blue. A blue might work really nicely on this page as well. We can go and add whatever color we want. All right, let's kind of try something like that. And even that, see, even that gives us, there we go. Right, even that gives us help in bringing this more, making this more visible. And again, you're going to want to play around because maybe you want to change your text again. Okay, one of the things that we do need to do with this, I'm going to right click on this box, right? And we're going to go to arrange and we're going to send it to the back. So now it is behind our text. Before it was laying on top, and that actually also makes the text easier to read. Now, obviously, like I've said, this is not a pretty design. You're not going to want to have, all these weird sizes and things like that. You're going to want to make it look pretty. But I'm just trying to show you how this works. Let's go back to our home page. Okay, because down here we have this very cool gallery, okay, that will show your books, and we're going to change the design of that. Actually, let's just do this. Let's delete it. I'm going to delete this, but let's now go and we want to do an add, and let's add a gallery. Okay, a slider gallery across the bottom. Something like this. And all I did was click on it. And there's how big it is. You see this? We got to get this out of the way because this is there. Let's move that back up. Now, where did my gallery go? Here is my guess. Something went wrong. Okay, so we had a little internet glitch there. So you can see down here, this is our home page. We have added this gallery here at the bottom. So again, manage media. And now we can add media, right? We don't want any of these. We want to select all and delete those because those are not our images. Now let's add some media to it. Let's add some images. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the book covers. All right. And hey, we'll hold down shift and we'll select all these three. We'll add my headshot in there just because. Now again, you see it's going to give us now a chance to describe each of these images. And again, like I said, that matters to folks who okay, so there we go. So we add these in. There we go. And then we can just click done. And actually, let's quickly go back there again because I do want to show you something else. You can add a link. So again, for each of my books, I could add a link to the book on Amazon, or I like to use books to read links. And if you're not familiar with books to read, go check them out. They're part of D2D's, which is Draft to Digital's stuff. It lets you make a whole landing page here. Let's just go see. I'll show you. Let's go look. Um, books to read. It's here's a hero to keep. Okay, so I have this one link, bookstoread.com, and then it's / with my title. And here is all of the stores for people to go buy it, right? So we can go back into Manage Media and we can click on Hero to Keep, and then we can pop the link in here, and it's going to go to a web address, right? And we'll just paste it in there, and then it's done. Okay, there we go. So now if people come to the website, let's go to preview. If you see, if we click on this, it opens the image. Apparently that did not get changed. Back to editor. Okay, I thought that down here. So this is, you will run into little glitches that will annoy you, that you will have to figure out. Okay, so apparently for some reason that link did not stay in there. So let's go back to Manage Media. Link. Anyway, that's how it should, in theory, work that way. But you can add more. It doesn't, however many books you have, you can do that. And again, actually, if we go to, this is actually my website. And if you look at my website, down at the bottom here, I have that a gallery, a slider like that with all my books. And let's just see what happens when we click on it. Okay, again, it's opening the image. Oh, but here there is a link down below. There we go. So that's how that works. All right. That's the basics. You can change all kinds of things. We could go up in here and we could manage the menu, right? We can move things around. Like, let's say we don't want books. Let's say we want contact to be last. We just move it so that the blog comes first, right? And there's the contact page. And again, here you're gonna change things out. You don't have to have your mailing address and telephone number. I wouldn't. But you can make it so that folks can email you right from here. And again, click on the form, you'll manage the fields. You can make things mandatory. See this? You can change the name for them. You can add new fields to them. Go to the settings here, and this will make it so what email address does it send it to? When people submit the form, do you show a message? Like, see, this one says success, message received. If they forget to fill it in, say this. What's the name of this form? All these types of things. How do you want to lay out your, do you want your text over here or over here? How do you want it to look? What colors? Here's different options. Look at all these options. Again, Wix is full of options. And as always, you can customize it. There, let's do, I kind of like that one. That one's different. And then let's customize it. What color do we want it to be? What do we want it to have a shadow? And if so, what angle do we want the shadow to be on? And text for it. What font do you want? Everything. This is what I'm saying. This template is just the beginning, and you can change everything. Everything. Social media bars down at the bottoms, you will set the links, right? You will add the link to your YouTube, to your Twitter, to your Facebook. You can add other icons. Do you have Pinterest? Do you have Snapchat? Do you have, whatever you want to link on your website, you can add the icon and then add the link so that folks can find you and follow you on social media. You will need a privacy policy. You will want a newsletter sign up. There's all kinds of other things that you're going to want. You're going to want to add your bio. Same thing here. Change out the image quick as can be. Oh, we're gonna go with the dramatic one that we made earlier. Ooh, there we go. And then about me. And again, we can simply delete that. We can go to the bio that I had prepared earlier. We can copy and paste it right on in there. And there we go. You have to highlight the text first to make it bigger. Okay. And then we maybe want to put in our paragraph breaks. We don't want to put a paragraph break in the middle of a paragraph because that would just be bad. And there we go. And again, change the, you can animate it, you can have it swoop in, you can do it, make it italics. I don't know why, but do whatever. You can change the color, you can add hyperlinks into it, you can center it, right? We could center it. Again, highlighting first is always helpful. Center it if you want it centered. Those are the basics. Let's go over here to add and just look at all of the different wonderful things that they give you. Do you want to add a list or a grid? Check that out. Would you like to change your menu? Which again, you can do that. Add a data input, add a database, add a blog, right? And probably you're going to want to have a blog. They have all new blog stuff as well. I haven't even had a chance to mess around with that yet myself. You can add boxes behind text, right? Just like I showed you. You can add buttons, right? Let's go, we'll go look at my actual website. Let's go to, and here's how your menu works, right? Say these are the main pages, and then below you see the sub pages open up. So if we go to here to keep, okay, you see that I've got buy now button, which will take you to the books to read page, but you can buy the audiobook. And so I put buttons for different places where the audiobook is available. You can see I've got the my video, my cover, and actually if you look, I'm going to have to go and tweak that because look at that. We got a little, I don't like that. That's going to have to get moved down. Copyright notices down at the bottom, privacy policy, right? You do need a privacy policy on your website that basically says how you use people's information. And if you look at mine, I have a plain language version, and then we have the terms down at the bottom. And again, I used pretty much kind of a template for a privacy policy. But you have to have a privacy policy on your website. I'm gonna stop there because I've probably already given you a lot of stuff. Don't be afraid to click on something and try it. Up here, you got an undo button, right? An undo and a redo button. Use the preview pane to go and look and see how things are gonna look. And Google is your friend as well. If you're trying to do something and you can't figure it out, go to Google and say, how do I XYZ on a Wix website or on Wix? And I guarantee you're going to find a bunch of videos like this one that will go into detail on the small things, because really this is a big overview, and what you really want is to break it down into small pieces, small bites, and I guarantee you that information is out there. In the meantime, have fun building a website, let your creativity go, But do remember to think about those folks with visual impairments. Make sure you're getting good contrast between your text and your background. Make sure you're putting in those descriptions for the images and everything else to help them out. Thanks very much for watching.